Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we're playing Golgari Obliterator II. Why Obliterator II? Because I already had Obliterator in my deck list, and I need to call it something different. We're playing Golgari, which is black and green, and we're named after the Phyrexian Obliterator, who is super kick-ass because whenever a source deals damage to it, that source's controller sacrifices that many permanents of their choice. Suck it, guy who targets my creature. Suck it. All right, if that sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello, and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host, voted by my high school class to be most likely to grow up to be Slenderman, Dr. You Can't Suck It. Yes, thank you. Film before a live studio audience. Thank you so much. You Can't Suck It. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on the Aether Hub, posted by Poor Planeswalker, called Golgari Obliterator Midrange. And I called it Obliterator 2 because I already had another Obliterator deck in my fancy bags of tricks. So I had to call it something else, and 2 is the creative name I came up with it. All right, so there we go. Straight up net deck. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards in this deck. We'll talk a little bit about how it will work, and then we'll go out and crush some hopes and dreams. All right, so with a Golgari Obliterator deck, essentially comes down to Phyrexian Obliterator, and you're going to get some fight cards in there. In this case, we're going to be using Bushwhack. And so that way you get him out for 4 blacks, and then you use Bushwhack to get him into a fight with something else. Hopefully you can kind of keep your guy alive, but then your opponent will then do, hopefully 4 points of damage to him. So he'll still stay alive, but then he'll have to sacrifice 4 of his permanents. That would be fantastic. Other than that, the deck's about what the deck does. What does this deck do? It looks like it's a lot of control. A lot of control. How are we going to put that together? Let's start taking a look. Cut down, kills little dudes. Discard stuff from their hands. There's the fight card we talked about. Let's skip Caustic Bronco. Destroys creatures. This one forces them to sacrifice a creature. This guy draws cards and comes out, and if he gets killed, he goes back to the graveyard. You can cast them all over again. Tear Asunder gets rid of artifacts and enchantments for 2, gets rid of any non-land permanent for 4. This guy's got Death Touch, puts out little rage babies, and potentially will draw you a card. When this guy, he's got Vigilance, and is 3/4, which is super cool. And when he attacks or enters, he puts out little maps, which will help to find you either Popo counters or lands. This guy will destroy a target non-land permanent and all other permanents with the same name as that permanent, including yours if you happen to have permanents of the same type out. That sucks. We already talked about the Obliterator. This guy's just a 4/4, and he'll give you 4 life whenever he comes into play. But if somebody forces you to discard, and there's a lot of discard out there nowadays, then you can just put this guy straight to the battlefield without paying for him. So suck it. So this guy is weird. But he's just like, yeah, if we're playing in a discard-heavy environment, then let's play with him. Other than that, he's just a relatively good 4/4. Gix's command, you can either put Popo counters and lifelink onto something until the end of the turn, destroy each creature with power 2 or less, return up to 2 creatures from your graveyard to your hand, or each opponent sacrifice a creature with the highest power amongst the creatures they control. You get to 2 of those things. Cost you 5. And lastly, the Harvester of Misery comes out. All creatures gain -2, -2. You got a bunch of creatures who have 2. Who's a Caustic Bronco, I guess? Yeah. So you might kill your own creatures, but whatever. As long as you kill your opponent's creatures, that's the important part. You can just go straight up and target somebody with it. You have to get rid of this card, and you can't play it then if that's the case. Caustic Bronco is a big weirdo. Whenever this creature attacks, reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand. You lose life equal to that card's mana value if this guy wasn't saddled. Otherwise, your opponent loses that much life. He only deals 2 points of damage, right? So it's like, man, who am I going to saddle? Isn't that like a waste of my time? Especially since saddling means you have to saddle something that has a power of 3 already. But at least you get to do the damage equal to whatever card you did rather than doing it to yourself. I usually end up killing myself with Caustic Bronco. I just put him out there to suck up some creature removal. What do we got over here? We got, look at black, and then everything else also is black. Why is that? Because Phyrexian Obliterator requires black mana. And so everything of these guys here do green as well. And we got some manlands in the mix. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to control the early board and the mid board and the late board with as much removal as we can possibly hold together. And then we'll try to eventually get out Phyrexian Obliterator and start using Bushwhack to cause some damage. That's it. That's the way it works. All right, so before we go out and do our damage, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black Queen Sheoldred, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentations of the women. All right, playing against Contact. All right, this is going to take us some twisting to be able to get those things killed. 3, question is, do I need a Bushwhack to grab 4? But I don't want to lose it. Bushwhack is great with Phyrexian Obliterator. We got plenty of opportunity. This is cool to waste things. I think we can just grow into it. Oh, you picked the wrong guy. Oh, let's see what he does. We got an instant kill. He's just playing red. I don't think he can do anything about it. Oh, there's some white for protection. That's bad. Gotta get it before the Discoverer is able to land his twisted visage upon us. All right, there's 3. I'm cool. We'll wait. We'll go for the throat. I'm scared of the white mana because I know that they got that hexproof thing in there. I do it again. He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it now. Nope. And I wasted another one. Excellent. All right, let's lay it down. All right, this is where you give up. I mean, in fact, if you actually have exile right now, I'll be so angry. Cool. All right, I'll preacher it up. And ready to bushwhack. Because I don't think he's got any creatures is his problem. Yep, he's out. In we go. I'm pushing the button like 400 times. What did you take the saddle? Saddle 3? Ooh, this is a good one. Let's see what he's got. He doesn't have an artifact or a creature. He's played too quickly. Let's just see what he's got. That's all it's going to do. I mean, I could use this for life gain a little bit later. Yeah, Monstrous Rage. All right, cool. That's 7 out of your 8 right there, baby. Cast that one right there. Right here. Oh, I already did the damage. Okay. Well, I just completely lost track of time. I think I might have been abducted by the visitors. Victory! I played again, SqishyRockfish. All right, what does this do? Let's take a look at his hand. Let's see what we're playing against. Suck it, greatest card in the universe. Suck it. Why is he doing that? That's weird. This is an artifact, right? Yep. Which is Tear Asunder could be used. Go for the throw cannot. Why is he? Oh, he doesn't have any black mana. That's his problem. There's his black mana. I'm doing this just to be vindictive. All right, so we're working our way towards this. I'm hoping he doesn't have the ability to do direct kill to the Obliterator. This guy, if he does, he'll try to go after him, because he won't like him being out there. I see the red mana, the red creature kill. It's not enough for Obliterator. What is your deal, man? You think you're going to take it out with your other card? Cool. Have a good time. Smoke. I'll hold on to the other one. We'll just see what happens here. Let's just pump them, though. It's fine. I discard a card. What am I getting rid of here? He's not putting anything out. I'll hold off. We could, I think, smoke this on his turn. Yeah, see, that's the bad stuff we gotta watch out for. I was really hoping you put a creature out. I want a Bushwhack. I want to cause that extraordinary pain to occur. Can't pop it, huh? All right, well, whatevs, man. Really want me to put one of these things out. All right, so we got the Obliterator and Sentinel holding it together. Immortal Sin. All right, there we go. Now we got our fight. Yeah, attack me. Let's hold back. We can always fight. We can do the damage first and then do the fight. All right, there you go. Get rid of stuff, man. Is it 4 lands? I'd do that. I'd keep my Urbrass Forge if I were you. There you go. And now you're peeing your pants. The game's over, and you're just going to give up. And we're done! Victory! Alright, we're playing against the themancob. That's a name, apparently. Alright, what do we got? 4 mana? Let's keep it. Can we come out slow? That's the question. I have nothing to do in turn 2, so possibly it's a good thing to drop on turn 2 then. Of course, then we'll draw something. That'll be bad. There's a lot of things we could do if we had to. Alright, we're just going to waste it like that. Another. Oh, that wasn't the slow one. Oh, the humanity. Alright, there's Preacher. He's got his death touch going. We should go get that tattoo. Look out, everyone. He's throwing lands down. Are you going to bounce it? Is that what your time? Is your time to do it? Congratulations, you wasted an entire turn. Now we got creatures to blow. We got to get them out of there. I mean, got to blow them out of our hands and onto the battlefield. Should we kill those guys? We can do that next turn, probably. Let's just do this. Gig's command is great. It's just one-time shot, and then we're out. How many things do we even have? Gig's command. Let's see. We definitely have 1. That's it. So we got to make it worth a while. What a jive turkey. You think these guys are going to let me actually play it all? Is it going to wipe out all my guys? Each creature power 2 or less. Ooh, wipe out my guys as well. That's not good. Or maybe just hold on then. Who's playing the Merfolk deck? Good for him. The Hex Caller is the worst one, I seem to remember. Sacrifice Merfolk, counter target spell unless plays 1. 1, 2, 3. I got 6. I can pull it out. You have to kill these 2 guys who are going to get rid of it. See what he does. All right, he wants to do that. What does this do? Other creatures get -2. Nice. I'm surprised he didn't have time to sacrifice stuff. Put it on the edgelord there. Ooh, we got a lot of good control coming up. That is really nice. What does this power person do? We can explorers, blah blah blah. Put a Popo on it. Okay, great. Popo! And we win. And we win! Suck it, sucker fish! Alright, playing against PapawGreybush. That's a great name. Alright, we got 2 mana. Is that enough to hold this whole thing together? Ugh, awkward. Keep. I will slam this guy out and go looking for basic land of the black variety. This guy playing white. All right, so we got to worry about exile. We got one of every white colored land out there. That is that. Saddle up. Bushwhack. I will see what he does with that. It's just that's just a discard is what that is. I think he's playing mono white like Toxic. These two are the combo. I'd love to just bushwhack straight into that guy right now. We'll say no. Yeah, he's going toxic on me here. I can wipe this whole board out with Harvester, though. Let's just do this. This big butt preacher there, he doesn't care about the double strikers. That's the real deal. He might come at me with everybody. That's what I would do. You just kind of have to blow through people. That's the kind of stuff I'm scared about with Phyrexian Obliterator. I'm up to 7 now. That's nuts. We're going for Obliterator. That's all there is to it. Auto pay. And no tax. We'll just sit here and be ready to defend. In reality, if he just attacks me, I'm dead. I mean, the deal is that if he can get rid of one of my guys. All right, there we go. Everything's super cool. Let's go with what we got. Jesus. I got to hold back on that Caustic Bronco is what I got to do. Let's lay down Chinatown. Oing, 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 oing. All right, he's got a single guy. So I can pump guys up with that. That's cool. And we can wipe the board of all those little dudes. So it looks like Gix's command is going to win the game for us. All right, let's make him dance. Dance for me, Rainbow Butt. Yeah. All right, destroy each creature. Put 2 popo counters. Sure, 1 on each. That sounds fun. Of course, I gotta do it this way. All in. And we win! In your face, Duffy Moon. Victory. All right, we're playing against CapnFruci. CapnFruci. Let's go intimidate this guy and turn off his mouse because that Squeakosaurus Rex doesn't need to be here. All right, 2. That's a little much for me. Let's just put this guy out. What are we playing up there? Shock. It's pretty much just standard mono red. All right, I want to keep that guy off me. If I don't play this guy right now, I lose him forever, and then I have to leave the door open. So he's just dead meat to me at this point. I think he's my best chance of dealing with him because he doesn't like the fact that he's going to have to deal damage. He might be able to overpower it, but the problem is that that's just not going to happen. Pump it up. Still going to die. I got another big butt. Let's pump that guy. Pump. Nice, is exactly what we need. Eliminate mono red's carriers. Then the rest of it can't hold. There you go. Do something about a 5 butt. It looks a lot like that. Oh, you're gonna lose your guy too. Congratulations. Oh, we whiffed. You want to come at me, brah? Okay, let's eat that guy drink his milkshake. All right, so we can get rid of stuff. We got tons of mana for it. This will help you get rid of something in his hand if he holds on to it. It's probably not a creature. It's probably some sort of direct damage. Oh, it is a creature. And we win. Second mono red. You are defeated. All right, playing against Sidious. Dart Sidious. Keep. Oh, I hate that guy because you can't shut him up. All right, what do we got? We've got a few mana here. What are you going to get for us? This guy's got something in his hand. It sounds very counterspelly. There's a combo. Just got to get to 4 mana. Let's see what he does about the Sentinel. Technically, if I would put out the Mosswood Dreadknight, it would be better because he is a self-recursing guy. There we go. Let's keep this up. In fact, let's do a little intimidation. Let's see what he's got in his hand. Let's know what we're playing against. Leave this open to cut down something small. Doesn't seem to be wanting to put anything out like that. He's got lots of creatures. All right, just let it go, man. He's in my graveyard. I can play him. At least I know he doesn't have anything against the Obliterator. I can get that guy out. That's fantastic. Yeah, come at me, brah. Fight! 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 All right, you got to give up 4 baby cakes. That's on top of everything else. What are you getting rid of? It's a minimum of 2 lands, probably more than that, I'm guessing. Yeah, or you just give up. Touchdown, Lava Bears. All right, so we are with Obliterator II. Obliterator II. Now, the thing about Obliterator 2 is that it's not a particularly new deck. I did throw some new cards from Aetherstorm in there. So no, Aetherdrift, that's what's called, Aetherdrift, because they're easy to swap out with against cards that were already in here. And so it's just a swap. It's nothing really all that creative or new. But it was a good deck before. It was a good deck, and we haven't played it in a long while. And, man, I really wanted to combo up on Phyrexian Obliterator and Tear Asunder. Big time. Or not Tear Asunder, Bushwhack, that's it. Because you get in that fight going, you pick your own battles, and then they just, I don't care if the Obliterator is destroyed. They got to destroy so many of their own stuff. That is just a glorious, glorious feeling. So anyways, it was a cool deck. We played it before. It was but a long time ago. And so it's good to kind of pull these back out and play them every once in a while, just to see how well they do. All right, so let's get to it. Who was the MVP? Who was the most valuable player of this deck? Most valuable player. I could tell you that I was just so cavalier with a lot of what was going on here. Sentinel, the name of city, didn't really care. Caustic Bronco, that thing caused me more damage than it was worth. I'm not a big fan of Caustic Bronco. Preacher of the Schism. He's pretty cool. I like the fact that he puts out a bebe. But you gotta, there's a very close situation where that actually occurs. The big guy, it's really still is Phyrexian Obliterator. At this deck, 4 mana is actually middle of the thing, so it's not top of the mix. Harvester of Misery. Yeah, it's the Obliterator. He's the guy that when you get him out, you feel like things are actually happening. He's the one that all your plans are rolled around. He's the one that scares the hell out of people because they got to be very ginger when that happens. I'm sacrificing everybody else just to make sure that there's not any more creature removal in their hands. So by the time I get Obliterator out, he can actually stay on the board for a little bit. So, yeah, I'm going to give it to Phyrexian Obliterator. You are my MVP of tonight's deck. Congratulations. You are going to Disneyland. All right, let's get down to it. So the question is, was this deck competitive? And I ended up getting a 67% win rate out of this deck. 67. So yeah, it is a competitive deck. Very Platinum Mythic feel to it. It's mid-range. It's got a lot of stuff going on to it. A lot of control at the beginning. A lot of individual creatures coming out and then growing into some nice, good stuff. It's got a good feel to it. So, yeah, it is a competitive deck. The funny part is it doesn't, I feel like real competitive decks aren't that competitive. And that's like this deck's not going to win you, decks like it's not constantly like just ripping people apart. It's not like an aggro deck or anything like that. but still it does very good even against a lot of aggro decks. It has a lot of answers for that. So it's competitive enough. Let's say that. And can you play it on the ladder? You could. Is it going to make it all the way up? I don't know. It seems like there's better decks out there right now, but still, it's definitely a competitive deck. It's something you can play. All right, was this deck fun? Yeah, totes. Why is that? Because of we got tons of stuff in 1 and 2. That means we got plenty of things to play early on, and there's a little bit of everything going on there. We have the forcing him to sacrifice, a lot of creature kill. We got Intimidation Tactics, which means some get rid of stuff. You got the combo between Obliterator and Bushwhack. Death Touch guys, if they force you to discard, come out for free. A lot of good removal. Gix's Command, of course, is fantastic. The problem is there's a lot of singletons in here. It's a weird deck that way. If I put this deck together, I'd focus more on cards. If there's a deck there's a card worth being in here for one, I would play at least 4 of it, if I can help. Unless it's a legendary, in which case I'll pull it back to 2 or 3. In this case, there's like a lot of singletons. Gix's Command, Maelstrom's Pulse. What else we got this singleton here? 1 Caustic Bronco. Yeah, it's kind of weird. In Harvester of Misery, only 1. So, whatevs. I mean, it kind of sprinkles in a little bit of something. Makes it interesting. But anyways, was it fun to play? Yeah. Why? Because of the early cards. We had the ability to do things early. Therefore, we could take command early in the game. But we had enough late game stuff that was great that when it comes out, it's great. One of the things I like to see in decks like this a lot of times is like maybe Shoulder or something. But yeah, we didn't have Shoulder in this deck. But Shoulder would be a good fit in here as well. I know a lot of people say, look, if you're going to play Golgari, why aren't you putting Glissa in there? Glissa would be great in here too. Would Glissa possibly be better than Central of the Nameless City? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I would keep the Death Touchers around. But I don't know why keep this guy. I mean, sure, he helps you go get lands, maybe. But I would definitely pick Glissa over this guy anytime. So I'd say the only thing about Glissa is that Glissa is a legendary. And, maybe do 2 and 2 or something like that. That might be nice. Here I am saying, you need to have more than 4 of a card in here. Glissa is just one of those cards that, as a legendary, it's not good to have too many because otherwise you just hold on to it. The other card I'm not a big fan of is Cut Down in this deck. There's many times I had 2 or 3s in my hand, couldn't do anything with it. So I'm not a big fan of that kind of a card. Maybe 2 in your hand is okay, but I'd rather go for other things. I like Momentum Breaker better potentially. So maybe turn this up to 4, take this down to 2. I removed something else. What did I get rid of? I don't know. It was something else. I'm looking right now. Sorry for taking your time. Anoint with Affliction. That's why I replaced with Moment Breaker. So it was still just 2 cards. Things I got rid of Anoint with Affliction because every time I have that card, I'm always like, this is complete trash. Because it's another one of those like Cutthroat that... it's like exile target creature if it has mana value 3 or less. What's great is it's an exile. Sure. They can't recover those guys. They don't go back to the graveyard. But it's 3 or less, which means it's cut down level power. And I don't need to have 6 turds in my hand not being able to do anything because whatever they put out is got either too much mana or too much power and toughness combined together. Yeah, that's just rough. So I like Momentum Breaker better. In fact, like I said, I'd turn this up to 4 and turn these down to 2. That's possibly what I would do. All right, let's get to the next thing. Was this deck interesting? No. Like the deck itself, the one that I actually linked and got from, who did I get this from? From Poor Planeswalker. It's just an old deck. I don't know why you put it up, but it was Golgari, Obliterator mid-range, and I thought this is going to be interesting. And I saw it was just a bunch of old cards. And so it was like, yeah, let's just play it again. It's been a long time. But I went ahead and spiced it up with what we did. But that's what I liked about it. It was the fact that we can spice it up. And after playing it, then we could put Glissa in here. Maybe there's some other better cards from Aetherdrift we could put in here. I kind of scanned through the black and the green category. I didn't see anything super quick. But, I'm trying to put a video together. I don't really have the time to come up with new brews here at the last minute. So, I did like it. The one that I just had problems with was this Verge. Because... the only way that this one activates for the black is if you can get a swamp out. And we've only got 7 swamps. So what's the chance of you actually pulling an actual swamp? I mean, I guess if you get Bushwhack, you can force yourself to get one. But I'm saving those to combo up with the Phyrexian Obliterator. So it was kind of rough sometimes. I just didn't want to give up on the Bushwhack just so I can get the Verge to do something black. But then I would have too many green. I couldn't get the Obliterator out. It was a bad situation. Whatever, man. Things happen. All right, so let's go ahead and put this together. Was this deck competitive? I'm going to say yes, it was. Was this deck fun? Yes. Was it interesting? No, other than in its potential to be swapped out with other cards. Yeah, there we go. All right, so saying that what it is added up, I'm going to give it into an A+. I mean, not A+, an A, straight A deck. I think the fact that it's kind of an old brew and that we can spice it up a little bit is cool, but still, it's not all the way. So while it is a great deck, it's competitive and it's fun to play, it's not quite a full meal deal. So it's a straight A deck, straight A. And if you decide to play with this deck, I hope that you have as much fun with it as I did. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the underground secret headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes.